All right, so hey, thanks for joining us today. We're just going to shoot a quick video here, and we just wanted to talk about a scenario where we have an Amazon client, and they have a certain number of things that have already been done for their business, and so just trying to figure out and discuss and brainstorm some ideas of, hey, what options, what are some growth opportunities, what are some ways that you can grow an Amazon account when a certain number of things have already been completed. So I have Eric Spalding here, my partner on the line. I'm Josh Ford, again with Sellers Launch. And hey, Eric, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Good, good. So you're over in Los Angeles, California, so it's pretty early for you.
Yeah,
Weather
it's
nice out there?
starting. Yeah, it's a little chilly in a way, but it's still 70, so it's better. It's better than being like freezing for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it
I'm
is what
back
it
here
is.
in
Oh,
Indianapolis, and it's it's kind of got some frost on the ground, a little chilly, but hey, I can't complain. It's you're from here, you fly back and forth, so you know what it's like. But no snow sticking on the ground, but a little chilly.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm not on that level yet, but it's not as hot as Florida is right now, so I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, so you're about to fly out to Florida next week, so of course another place where the weather is just nothing compared to the great weather of Indianapolis this time of year. So I'm sure you're
But
pretty jealous.
Indy has its time in the fall and in the summer. It's like super nice. So.
Right. I'm gonna have to come out there and meet you sometime during these cold times of the year. But yeah, so what we want to talk about today, I'll kind of go through just to kind of give you a refresher. So we're talking about a client account, and I'll just kind of go through a few things. Like, so this client account has already, it's already had all their listings optimized, so that they've had the lifestyle images done, the product images done, infographics have been added, and they've had all their listing copy rewritten and optimized. It's keyword rich, good copywriting's done. Um, and they've had all their products have been launched and sent to FBA centers. They're now live, ready to be fulfilled via FBA and Prime. All their sponsored product ad campaigns have been launched and semi-optimized. Um, and they're not really interested since they just launched a lot of these new products online. They don't have a lot of reviews. They don't really want to go into bundling or multi-packs yet. They want to hold off on that and try to just focus on these single unit listings. And they don't have any new products that they intend to add to the catalog for a while. And then they don't have an email list. They don't really have a social media following. So some of the off Amazon things are pretty new as well. So not a whole lot of firepower there. And then they just found out that they will not be able to get their trademark approved for probably another 6 months, according to their trademark attorney, which will rule out brand registry with. And all of that means that no EBC, enhanced brand content. They can't do a storefront, no sponsored brand or headline ads. So, with all of that being the case, um, I wanted to kind of brainstorm and talk about what would be some things that would come to mind, some different opportunities that we could present to this client to try to help them grow their Amazon business, given all of these facts.
So like the first thing that comes to mind is do they have any videos?
So I'm not sure. So yes, that would have to be something we'd have to check into to find out if they have any kind of videos. I'm going to lean towards probably not, given the fact that they're pretty new. They don't have a lot of off Amazon stuff done. So
Okay. All
so
right.
recommending
So
doing some videos.
yeah, I would recommend like in a census there's some downtime of like in their eyes like they've done a lot right now. They're trying to do something else, but you don't have like a ton to do. I would say go ahead and start on some videos because those videos you can use once you do get the trademark approved, or if you're able to hop on to someone's Vendor Central account, like if a partner, if you're able to find a business partner that was able to add your brand to their Vendor Central account and sell, like in a sense, third party for you, then that would give you that access to uh, your A plus content for the video and the A plus content, which we can talk about here in a little bit. But that's like one option. But if you have to wait the 6 months or 12 months for the trademark to be approved, then in the meantime you can start growing a following using Instagram and YouTube with your video. So if you make like very attractive videos that you're going to use in your product page once you have approval, launch those first on YouTube, Instagram, and start explaining to people who your brand is, what your product is, and how it can help. So like if it's a product that's like gonna enhance the customer's experience, you can really really help out the your customer base by explaining how it works, like even before they see it. So Amazon does reward products when you send. Amazon does reward products when traffic comes from outside sources. So if you can like have a link in an Instagram bio and that leads to your Amazon page, that's going to help your sales a lot more than if someone just found you via, searching for pizza cutter on Amazon. And if they found like Instagram link and you sold awesome pizza, you happen to have like a pizza cutter attached to that on Amazon, and they click that, that's going to help your keyword rank a lot more than just finding it organically.
Okay. All right. So that sounds good. Just to kind of clarify, to kind of help us narrow our focus here a little bit. Let's say that this client is supplement. So they're in the supplement category. They sell those types of products. So just to so we have that, and then also before we move on from the video option, so is part of this video strategy to try to get the videos on their actual listings, or is that something that they wouldn't be eligible for right now? Like what all goes into trying to getting a video on your Amazon listing?
So it depends on like what type of video you're gonna make. So if it is kind of more like a commercial, then that might be more geared strictly for like Instagram and YouTube and kind of more informative, where like I'm not saying like it doesn't help, but if people just talk about their brand and who they are if you're a supplement company and you say, our brand is Sellers Launch and we love that's good to say, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So
I mean, we are Sellers Launch, so it's all good.
all right. So like if our supplement brand was Sellers Launch and we yeah, if our brand was Sellers Launch, talking about Sellers Launch and like who we are and like why you would want to buy our supplement and all that, like that's helpful, but typically like a product video is a lot better if it's about the product. So if you look at some people's videos, they're like, "Hey, this is our brand," and they have it like a logo come in with some background music, and they talk about like they've been around for 20 years and like they're an awesome brand. But like when I look at that video, I still wonder like, okay, like, but what about the product? Like you have access to this video, but you're not using it correctly, or to its biggest advantage. So typically videos, like they say, videos increase your conversion, like at least 15%.
Okay.
And so like with a 15% increase in conversion, like that means 85% are still losing, and that's because like the video is not convincing enough or it's not like used in the right way. So I would like to know the percentage on like out of videos that are like legitimate, all about the product, like what their conversion is, because I'm sure it's much higher. But if you were to have like a product feature video, and you had some cool background music and you made it look really modern, and you used you used influencers, you used big people's names, you can launch that using YouTube and Instagram, and you're going to get their followings to notice your products, and then they're going to like be joining your YouTube page and your Instagram page, and that's just going to help further development. So it's like, in a way, there's always things to do, but in certain circumstances, there's not that much you can do on an Amazon page if they don't want to sell more products. So like if you don't want to make more of what you're making, or if you don't want to use your advantages in different ways, then sometimes you have to take a step back and do things off of Amazon and prepare yourself for your time to come.
Okay, gotcha. So just to kind of recap, if I want to put videos on my listing, does being brand registered factor in as far as being eligible to do that? Is that a factor at all?
Yeah, so if you're brand registered, like now you can only be brand registered 2.0, which isn't the same as brand registry 1.0, but if you're a new seller, you don't have a choice. Like they retired 1.0. 1.0 gave you more. If you notice, there's brands that are like protected, like if you try to sell their brand, they're
So
gated.
like they're gated. Okay, yeah.
They're gated, and that's because they were registered under Brand Registry 1.0. Now with Brand Registry 2.0, you still have some benefits of the original brand registry, but you don't get your brand gated um, unless there's an inauthentic seller that's ruining the actual brand. So if you're trying to be proactive and get it gated before someone hijacks your listing, they won't do it. But if someone's hijacking your listing and they're actually selling like the wrong product, so if they take your buy box or sell underneath you and they don't actually send you their brand, if they're using their brand instead of your brand or a generic brand and making your brand worse, they will gate that product, but they most likely still will not gate your whole brand. And so that's a problem I just ran into with a client actually. Was he was he was really mad because we couldn't get our product gated. And Amazon was like, well, there's no conflict right here. No one's even selling underneath your listing. Why? It doesn't matter if it's gated or not. We're like, well, we think it will be soon. We sell in a very competitive market. We get our products up there, and as soon as it's up there, um, then it gets taken by someone else. So that's happened in the past with other products. We were trying to be proactive, and they're like, yeah, like we don't do that, and it was because we were under Brand Registry 2.0. Now that also allows you to do A plus content or enhanced brand content. I'm sorry, it's called enhanced brand content under brand registry, and then you have
Sure.
your product video you can add as like the seventh picture. In I would just prepare, like I would make a video now, launch it on YouTube, Instagram, show it now, and then as soon as you have the availability, now you post it. Because it takes like if you want a good video, like you have to send the person your product or you have to have it 3D drawn, and both of those, like if you want actual casts using like live footage of people using your product to make it look nice with some video, like it takes at least 3 to 4 weeks typically. And so I would start on that now, and then you get to use it for about 2 months, and then like hopefully you get your trademark registered, or you get to use it in different places. So yeah, I've ran into people that they have their brand registered, but they don't know that they can make infographics, and they don't know that they can use a video. So when I tell them that, they're like, "Okay, let's do that tomorrow." I'm like, "Well, it's not that fast."
Right.
Um, so like, unfortunately, I can't. I don't do videos that fast. I have friends that can do videos faster, but it still takes like 3 weeks or so. Um, so yeah, that's the problem. But the cool thing is if you get a 3D video, you can ask the person that's doing your 3D vectoring to send you the individual vectors of the products. So like if it's a 15-minute video, you're probably going to have like 30 images that you can then use as infographics. Um, and so I like to like use our if we're going to pay for something to get done, I like to use it in as many different ways as I can. So if you can reproduce that and make it an infographic and have the live show of it be in a video, like then you just double down on your investment. Um, so that's like a really good option. But then at the same time, I personally like videos that have real people in them rather than just like zoom in, zoom out of the product. Like
Sure.
so, yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you're on a budget, I would do the 3D video. If you have a little more money to spend, I would have some live people use it.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So what else could we do in addition? I mean, my thought goes to so in addition to doing some of the video content, trying to get that in place so that as soon as you are brand registered, then you can add that as an additional, you said,
Right. Well,
set.
so I would say, sorry to cut you off,
No, go for it.
but I would say outside of the video, so the video you're building, so I guess to backtrack, you would first want to start a like an Instagram page and a Facebook page and start building your social media um, to start off with. And then once you have like that going, and you start getting some following, then you have a video to send to them and you have some content or you have some infographics and you can start building an audience. That's your main goal. Is
Sure.
basically your if your Amazon page is already like in a sense 100%, like if you checked all the boxes of everything that you think you can do, then you got to take your attention off of Amazon and start building your brand because like ideally if you can sell it on you straight from Instagram to your Shopify site, like you're gonna make more money.
Yeah.
But like we all know that like the traffic is better like on Amazon. So if you could, like you'd probably like to keep that 15% on every sale, but for the time being, I would still direct all traffic from your social media to Amazon until you get to a point of like calling the shots and having a lot more people like find your product organically. But basically, I would be wanting to build an audience, so building followers and partnering with followers and finding people with like over 10,000 followers. They have an audience, and typically, like, um, if you're in a supplement product and you just happen to find a bodybuilder with 10,000 followers, now you have somebody that you can sponsor, and you say, hey,
Hmm.
like, can you use my product at your next event? I will give you free product for 6 months, or I'll give you free product for a year. Or some people are going to require you to pay them, but it's well worth the advertising if they're going to post about it. And like
Sure.
if they are like a famous figure, like if they're a bodybuilder or if they're a great runner or a cyclist or something, like they're going to be posting pictures of what they're good at, and those are the people that are going to be liking their page, and those are the people that are going to be interested in it. So like if you already have people that are interested in your advertisement, and you say, hey, I'm a famous person and I use this. This makes me better. This can make you better with this coupon code.
Sure.
Like it sounds dumb, but I know I buy
Oh
products from
yeah.
like, NBA players. Like when they
Hmm.
say like, "Hey, this product is much better than this product," I'm like, "Ah,
Yeah.
give it a shot." Like
There's a
50 cents.
reason why they pay all this money
Yeah.
and go after the big names for the product endorsements. It must work.
I mean, it definitely works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, so let's say the client, this is all great stuff, totally spot on. I agree. Let's say the client goes, okay, that sounds great. We definitely understand there's all these opportunities off Amazon. But let's say they kind of circle back and they go, okay, great. We definitely will try to work on that. But like, what additional things can we do to try to grow our Amazon account, like just on Amazon? So, but while you kind of think about that, my mind goes to, okay, well, I suppose we could, try to launch you. So if you only have a Seller Central account in the United States, I'd say, okay, well, if your United States account has been pretty much optimized and you've done everything you can there, then I guess the only other thing you could do, or maybe not the only other thing, would be to, okay, let's try to get you launched on some additional marketplaces. So what are your thoughts on that as a potential growth opportunity for an account in this type of scenario?
right. So I think international accounts are great. The thing with that is different in every different country. Now you have to like abide by their tax rules. So, for example, I was just looking at an account in Amazon Mexico, and so with them, they have a VAT, like a VAT tax, a VAT. And so with every purchase order, they get like it's billed 10 pesos. So like it doesn't matter if the supplement we're selling costs $10 or it's 10 pesos or 100 pesos. Um, when a transaction is made, Amazon bills us 10 pesos for the tax. But that's different in each country. So like there's additional fees that you really need to look into. You need to understand, is it profitable or not? And what are your FBA costs? Because like what are your FBA costs, or do you have a third-party warehouse that you can store your inventory in a different spot? Um, because those are all great questions. And what are like the importing fees in each country? Because like all of that is going to range your profit margins. Now, it might be better than the US. Like it could be less regulated and it could be cheaper in certain countries. And so it's well worth like investigating, but that's going to be, it's going to be a chore of its own.
Well, I know back in the day, you couldn't just launch on any marketplace when you wanted to. You had to either wait till it was available, or maybe get an invite or have it shown up in your account like, hey, this marketplace is now available for you to launch in. What's the environment like today? Let's say I want to launch on Amazon.fr. Can I just go ahead and try to set up an account through that and start getting the ball rolling to launch that, or is there
So I
like
think
a
I believe you can contact Seller Central. I'm not sure what tab it would be, but you can ask,
sure,
you can contact them and they're going to point you to the correct department. And you can at least try to get like an invite. Um, I know that like if you're selling in Amazon.com, you can also sell in Canada, Mexico, like your North America. I'm not sure how easy it is to get into the other countries if you don't have like a registered business there, or if you don't have like your tax your taxes figured out. Because like I assume you're going to need all that to apply from scratch. So just like for your U.S. account, like you need an EIN number before you get
sure,
approved.
right,
And so I think you need to figure out all the like all of that background information, and then it's easy. Like Amazon's fine with you selling on those different marketplaces, but like it's not as easy as saying like, here's my US information, go. Like yeah, it's a
sure,
little more complicated than that. So I would say um, it's worth investigating if you have like a lawyer that's really good at that. Like I would say, hey, go for this. I myself, like I'm not awesome at that type of research, so I would probably
sure,
go more towards different marketplaces here in the U.S. So like trying to get your product on Walmart.com, trying to get it on eBay, trying to get it on uh,
okay,
Wayfair. If it's a supplement like GNC or Whole Foods, or you can get into like a lot of other avenues and sell it that way.
okay. Okay, so just to circle back, kind of to exhaust all of our possibilities, it's okay if we hit a wall because hey, Amazon can't you can't do what you can't do. So in addition to potentially launching in another Amazon marketplace with your products, are there any other opportunities that you would see given the scenario that we've kind of painted here for growing the Amazon account just
I
using
mean,
what?
there's like if you're trying to grow it off of Amazon using social media, and then you're trying to sell it on other platforms.
Hmm.
Um, one other thing you could do is you can get a service like Managed by Stats or like Feedback Genius or any of those that are going to be an automatic feedback
Okay.
message system. And you can build out, so if they don't have an email list, they should begin building an email list. Um, so something like quick and easy you can set up is a landing page. Um, you would have to buy a URL that is generic and it leads to a landing page that there is no sale on. If there's no sale on it, Amazon should pass it through their filters on their messaging system. So if you had, for example, you would buy the URL if it was a supplement, mysupplementregistration.com, if that was
Sure.
available. If that's available, you would buy that, and then you would have an email that's automatically triggered to that customer saying, "Hey, thanks for buying your product. If you would like, you could give them, if it's a 30-day warranty that Amazon requires, and that's all you say on your page, you could say, we're giving you a free additional 60-day warranty. So if you don't like it within 90 days, you can return it for a full refund. Like you have to give that customer something that they're gonna like be like, okay, sure. Like here's my information. I confirm that like I want to register for this warranty. So if they register for that warranty, then that's like um, it's like an intro. So now you're introduced to that customer, and that customer now gave you their information. You can send them an email asking if they want to join. Like a subscription of multiple things. And then, like, if they agree to join that list, now you can send them different emails.
Okay.
So those emails can be used to educate the customer just about the product. They can be used to um, give them coupon codes or launch another product. Um, the possibilities are really endless once you have their information and they want to hear from you. That's the key. If they don't subscribe to your email list, like that means it's most likely going to go to junk, even if you do send it. And those aren't really the customers that you want, anyways.
Sure.
Um, I mean, you'll take any type of customer, but that's not the type of
Well, especially
subscribe to
if it's
your email list.
especially if it's somebody who's already bought your product and you're trying to follow up with them, like, ideally that should be a pretty, pretty warm, interested or somewhat interested, more interested in somebody who you're just blasting who has never even heard of your product.
Right, right.
So
So
with
like
the
it's better if like your email list is engaging. Otherwise, like it's not working. So
Sure. So would
no,
package inserts kind of be like kind of like a sister to using like a managed by stats, email appends, follow up, feedback genius follow up as well?
so I would say yes, but at the same time, like if
Like
so
they're both
inserts
designed
are
to
just
generate.
another step that you have to put into the box before you ship it to Amazon if it's FBA. So if you have 1,000 units in FBA and I say, what can I do tomorrow?
You can't do
Well,
anything. Yeah.
you can't do that tomorrow. So I would say it's like a distant cousin, but you can make those messages tomorrow.
So that would
Um,
be something more like you're working with a client, you're helping them ship their first batch of
their
inventory
first
to
batch,
FBA.
absolutely. Or
Yeah,
like when they're working on their second batch, like if they order 500 of something and then their next batch is 5,000, say, hey, before
sure.
that comes over here, like make sure there's inserts in it so you don't have to do it yourself.
Right.
Um, and
And
then,
just
yeah,
for the sake of speed, I mean, obviously, if a client comes on board and they have ready to ship inventory to FBA, like you almost don't want to recommend that they slow down getting that to FBA, maybe for the first batch, right? Just to put inserts in.
right.
Um,
I want to, like, the thing is like when you send me, like when I buy something from Amazon, like, for instance, I just bought a manual coffee maker, like, or a manual coffee grinder, to grind some coffee beans.
you
And
are the coffee man, so
I love coffee. There will be more information on that coming soon. Um, but I bought a coffee grinder and I like threw away the packaging instantly. Like I just opened the package, got the coffee grinder out, put coffee beans in it, and I know how to twist the thing. Threw it away. I put it in the recycling bin. Recycling was on Monday. On Tuesday, I thought about it and I was like, dang it! I wanted to see what that packaging was. 'Cause I wanted to see like how they marketed it, what they
sure.
did, and we already took it to the recycling, like the recycling truck picked it up. So,
You did drive
um,
down there and start sorting through all the.
it wasn't worth it.
No, no,
But yeah, my point is like I was so eager, like I had coffee, I had a coffee maker, I was waiting for that grinder to grind some beans. So as soon as it came, I was like, yeah, grinding. So like I didn't even look at the box. I didn't check to see if there was an insert. I didn't care about a warranty. I figured for $12, I'm willing to take the risk that it doesn't work.
sure,
So inserts are great, but on the same note, like I didn't check my email, but if it broke, I would check my email and then I would say, hey, like I'm registering for this warranty and now you're going to give me my money back. And as a company, I'm still okay with that because now I have your email and I
sure.
at least have a contact with you. So if I can make that experience better for you, now you're going to remember my brand. Even though it's a negative experience today, we can turn that into like a great experience. Like,
Correct. Yeah.
and so that's the benefit of like just communication with your customer. Like any type of communication is good.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, if you improve or upgrade the product, hey, you can follow up with them. If you have related products, obviously you can cross sell those products to them. I mean, yeah, there's so many things when you have that ability to follow up with them, for sure. Okay, so we've got potential marketplaces if that's something they want to explore. We've got setting up some kind of managed by stats or feedback genius, some kind of follow-up system to try to get some good feedback from your customers. Trying to elicit some reviews as long as it's within the TOS terms of service of Amazon. And then also with Feedback Genius, or not Feedback Genius, but Managed by Stats, using the email appends to try to get their email to do some additional follow-up. Are there any other things that we can think of at this point, in addition to doing those things?
No, I mean those are like the biggest things that stick out.
Again, just to kind of revisit, for everybody who's listening, like, so this is somebody, they're not, they can't be used brand registered, they're not brand registered. It's going to be like 6 months for them to do it. So like their listings have been optimized. So the images are awesome. The listing copy is awesome. Bullets, description, title's been maxed out. It's got good keywords. The back end keywords have all been maxed out. So like the listings from that standpoint, they've all been maxed out. They've got sponsored product ads running for all products. Those are continuing to be optimized with the search term reports, and continue to refine those, trying to keep the ACoS to a reasonable level. So like all these things are in place, and the client's not really interested in doing any kind of bundles or multi-packs at this point, because they just recently launched their single units. All their products are at FBA Center, ready to roll. So that's why we're just trying to say, okay, once an account has reached this point, what else can be done? And we've said, that in addition, so basically it seems like the majority of the things that they can do are going to be off Amazon to try to grow the account. And as far with even really, if you think about it, even like the Feedback Genius and the Managed by Stats and stuff like that, it's still kind of off Amazon, but at least it's through API, it's linked to Amazon. So really, it's kind of like still being on Amazon in a way. You're just utilizing the Amazon platform, all that, and those using a third-party tool. So I mean, I would consider that to be something still really closely linked with Amazon, even though it's still kind of off. And then we said the package inserts would be something that probably you're not going to do in your first batch, unless you have time and you kind of have that ready to roll, because you don't want to delay, obviously, getting products to FBA if you don't, if you're ready to launch stuff there as quickly as possible, because the sooner it can become fulfilled by Amazon and have the Prime badge, obviously, the sooner that the listings can start generating a higher sales velocity. So in addition to any of that, so let's say I guess another thing we could explore, and this client actually has been doing this, so maybe this would be a couple things we could add to the list, would be using like a launch service or some type of a review group. So what are your thoughts on those?
I mean, I'm not like completely against them, but I also think they're expensive. So, yeah, in a way, like you have to have the right product for it to work. Like if you have a really expensive product, it's going to be really costly to give away that many products at a very high discount to make a page rank while still having enough inventory to make it work. So I think they're perfect for certain products, but it really depends on what the product is.
Gotcha.
So, and it also
Okay.
depends on how much inventory you have and how fast you can get more inventory. So if it's a very cheap product, you can get inventory very quickly, or if you already have lots of inventory, you need to get rid of it. That could be a great way. But if you have limited inventory and a limited budget, I would say save your money. So
Sure. So if it's a seller, they don't have a lot of inventory. They don't have, they maybe don't have a great budget, if they're just starting out, or if their products aren't really a good fit for that. And then of course they have to factor in, how many units they'd have to give away for how many days, et cetera, depending upon how competitive that specific product was, correct? So, I mean, so there's a lot of variables that go there. So it is an option, but it may not be an option for everybody, depending on their situation. So that'd be more of like a case-by-case basis, sounds like, right?
right, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a possibility. It's just it's got to be the right product for that to work. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think we've covered, a lot of good options. If you have any others that, maybe we've missed, feel free to shoot. If not, that's okay too. I mean, like I said, we've covered a lot of things here.
All righty, perfect. Yeah, that's about all I have right now. So,
Sure,
uh,
sure,
yeah, no, it's been good. I think we've covered a lot, and yeah, we'll be covering more shortly.
sure. All right. Well, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, or you'd like us to look at your account, look at your situation, maybe we can help you depending on where your brand is at. Maybe if you're wanting to launch, if you have a product in mind that you've researched and you found you think it's a good fit, and you want to invest in a new product. If any of these situations are where you're at, you can definitely reach out to us, Sellers Launch. You can reach out to us in the feed below, and we'd be happy to respond. Or you could go to sellerslaunch.com, and we'll have more resources and more tips and downloads and ebooks and things to try to help you wherever your business is at. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We don't work with all clients, of course. We have to be somewhat selective, but we'd love to take a look at your business, see where you're at, and see if you'd be a good fit. So, hey, Eric, thanks for your time today, brother.
Yep. See you guys later.
All right, see you guys. Talk soon.